Once again,
Hi.
poor Pingy is going through some issues.
No.
Can you talk a little bit about what we saw in the first half of the season and where you're going?
Yeah. Well, in terms of the relationship, Oswald killed my girlfriend, someone that I loved. It was kind of a second chance at happiness in a more traditional sense for him, and that was stolen away by his best friend. And his best friend had no sort of remorse about it. He did it for his own happiness, not considering mine, and so he got to go.
With friends like that, you don't need enemies.
You got to go.
As the Riddler, do you have a favorite riddle that your characters?
Do I have a favorite riddle? It's a simple one, but the less you have, the more they're worth to friends. It was the toast I made when I was with Jim Gordon and Leslie and Kristen on a double date. I just think it's nice.
It's nice of us.
Yeah.
Talk about putting on that green suit for the first time.
It was awesome. Well, in the fitting, I walked in. You know, we have green suits, and they've been getting a little bit greener, and they all kind of have like the velvet top, like collar, and there's a detail here. But when I walked into the fitting room and I saw the actual green, I was like, whoa! That's like a sample thing, right? Because that's really green and that's really shimmering. And they're like, that's it. And I was like, was this okay? Have you shown them like this fabric? I was nervous because I was like, this is really bright. And as you can see in Gotham, people don't really wear bright clothing. There might be rich colors, but it's never bright. And this green is bright. But I love it. It's really fun. I tried it on. It's well tailored. It was made for me, and it's a really beautiful green, and it truly does shimmer. And I like that. It represents the side of Edward that wants to be seen and wants to be acknowledged. And it's kind of flamboyant. And I like that he's entering this thing, and it's like a bit of a showman. He's like, he wants people to see him. I like that.
As you've evolved the character closer and closer to sort of that ultimate Riddler persona, specifically in this season, what's been fun about adjusting him and the ways you've taken him, especially what we're still to see in season 3?
Yeah, well, something that I really like about Edward is that he has identity issues, and he's constantly seeking an identity. And so what I've tried to do with him is he puts on different hats based on what he's doing or who he's with. So something that I've really enjoyed doing is him trying to be like, letting himself be tougher, which means that his voice is kind of dropped. And it often happens with Penguin. Sort of like intimidation thing. When he's doing his, as you'll see in episode 15, when he's like kind of doing his riddles, he gets really excited. His voice kind of enters this other thing. But when he's like with people one-on-one, I like to drop his voice. Moving forward with the Riddler, you know, he's going to be like figuring out who he is, what does it mean to be the Riddler, like how do I mess with people, how do I present a riddle? That's what I'm having fun with now, because what I want to do eventually, where I want to be, is I want him to be quite elegant and sophisticated, doing terrible things and doing them very elegantly.
So we saw the teaser, and the tagline is changed. What does it mean for the show now that it's called Heroes Will Rise?
Oh, Heroes Rise. Well, I think I'm not a hero. I think what it's referencing is we're going to be charting a path with Bruce that's really interesting to the end of this season. He's going to go through a pretty significant transformation. And it's very exciting where he is at the end. And Jim Gordon as well has a tough time, but we leave him at a pretty interesting place at the end. But he survives, which is.
Will Nygma ever work with Barbara, Butch, and Tabitha? Is there a chance they might join forces?
Yes.
Okay.
So my issue with this season so far.
Your issue? Is
I
everyone going to air their grievances?
Well, I had you here. I love the show.
All right.
So I'm going to preface it with that. But it was really dark this year, and tonally, is it going to maintain that tone, or how do you balance that?
Well, I don't think it'd be a very interesting show if Gotham was not a dark place, personally. I mean, also, the idea of Gotham is the city gets worse and worse and worse. Otherwise, why do you need Batman? Right? So the city has to get to a point where a human being has to decide to dress like a bat and save the city. It has to be a pretty gnarly, nasty place for someone to decide to do that, in my opinion.
But wouldn't people just move?
You would think so. Some people do. We don't know them, but someone might leave at the end of this season.
With that.
At their own will.